Hello everyone, I'm Psychotic, and that's also my screen name. We are back with episode 35 of our Season 2 for Medieval Dynasty. Today we are going to go on a mine run, because of course we are, it's a new season. We're also going to try to get those other two fields set up so that when spring rolls around, all we have to do is plant the flax to get those 3 fields going. And we will complete that quest that we started at the end of last episode. We had to wait for the day to change. So we'll get that taken care of as well, and see what we can do about getting some money. Just keep on trucking. But we'll also probably build some farm animal buildings as well, so that we can start moving the babies over so that they stop eating all the food. But we'll see how it goes. If you learn anything useful today, or if you have a good time, please don't be afraid to drop a like. If you're feeling friendly, maybe go ahead and subscribe. But either way, let's go ahead and load in. Alrighty, here we go. So let's check our inventory, make sure that we don't have a bunch of weight. We do have some feathers. I know feathers aren't particularly heavy, however. Anything else that we need to dump? That meat. We need to dump the meat. That spork, I guess we can put in here for now. Alright. So we got some meat and a mushroom to dump off, and then we should be good to go on a quick mine run. And then we can get back to work on agriculture. So I really want to get those fields ready to go before we actually need them. That way we don't run into the issue like we did with the rye where we only got 1 out of the 3. I would like to make sure that we get all 3 on the flax, because I think that's going to be huge. Between the seeds from the harvest and the excess flax for the crafting, that's going to be massive for income. Quick run up here. Shouldn't take too long. The iron runs really haven't been taking us that long. It's not as bad as the bronze runs were when we had to get all of the copper and all of the tin. That was kind of a pain in the butt. But the iron runs are much, much shorter. Unfortunately, that means that we get less iron. And we could start hitting up the second iron mine as well. But I want to get our other affairs in order before I start worrying about getting as much iron as possible. But I don't want to sleep on the stuff that is easily accessible right here, because we already know the layout of this mine. And that makes it much, much more efficient. Alright. Alright, so let's go ahead and run back and get started. We forgot that one up on the top twice, and I'm doing my level best to make sure that we never forget it again. That's why I've been starting there. Yep. little bit of a clipping issue there with the pickaxe, but not super bad. We can throw this bit on there for now. We're going to have to do something with the stone soon, too. Because we're going to start accruing more than we really need. And eventually we're going to use it for houses, but I don't want to build the houses too early, or we're going to wind up with a bunch of taxable houses that we're not actually using for anything. And that's just a waste of coins. But eventually we're going to need houses for all the children and to staff the stuff that we're doing out here. I definitely want to get at least 3 houses up. Well, yeah, 3 houses is probably for the best. That way we can have workers for the barn that live, or for the farms that live out by the farms. So those are going to be the first people that I really, really want to get. Is going to be farmers for the new fields. Because the less I have to do, the happier I am. I want to do things because I want to do them, not because I have to do them. Unfortunately, very little of life actually works out that way, but at least in gaming, that's something that we can manipulate in our favor. One more? One more. I think that's it. Yep. Alright, so that's the first arm done, and the second arm's very short. I would love to do them both in the same trip in, but there's more than 40 kilograms worth of crap in the second arm, and we can only carry about 40 kilograms more on the horse before he starts to slow down. That's why we do this in 2 trips. It's unfortunate, but that's the way it works. Alright. Iron ore. We got quite a bit. And that's 34 bars right there. No, we already went the... Oh no, yeah, that's right. But we're going to take the left branch this time. And then we're going to go here. And we can actually have our horse wait for us down here. Because we know that it's just about right for the whole arm. Okay, so this should be 10. Yeah. This should be iron. Yeah. One of these is 10 too. That's iron. That's salt. I know that you can use salt to make salted meat, but realistically it's not really worth the time or the effort. It doesn't change the monetary value very much. And the other issue is it doesn't really change how much... I mean, it extends the life of food a little bit, but you can't really use salted meat for the recipes that we're using. So, it's cool that it extends the life of the meat, but we don't really care. Because it makes it unusable. Alright, so that's the end of the mine. Nice and short there, less than 10 minutes. Well, we've been on for less than 10 minutes, and we've done some other stuff too, so significantly less than 10 minutes. Which is reasonable. Alright, I would love to make some knives out of that stuff, but now is not the time. Because, ooh, $4 grand. Excellent. Yeah, we've got another 92 ore in there that we can play with. That is fantastic. How are we doing on stone? Stone. Yeah, we're going to have to do something with stone here soon. I know we can get rid of at least 200 of it building, well, yeah, building the houses out by the new fields. But that's going to be a little bit yet. So let's go ahead and head over to our new fields, speaking of. I always forget something. Okay, so this time around, we've got plenty of iron hose. Let's take... Actually, one of these will do. We need 200 fertilizer. We're going to have to do something with manure again here soonish. So we're starting to get a little low. As much as I would like to make iron knives out of the iron that we have right now, it would be pointless. Hey Alex, what's going on, man? It would be pointless at the moment because we can't sell anything. Everybody just went to bed. So we're going to go work on the fields through the night and hopefully get that situated. And that way we can worry about a sale run and some crafting in the morning. Because as much as we're getting out of our vendors, and I'm very happy with them, we are making more than they can possibly sell, so we're going to have to do something to account for that a little bit. And if we can clean out the villagers every season, that's just that much extra money that we make. And I know we're going to get taxed for these new fields that we're making right now for most of winter before we actually get any use out of them. But that's just something I've come to terms with. So there's not a terrible lot that we can do about it. Okay, so Winnie, I need you to carry half of this for now. Because that should reduce us by enough that we can move reasonably. Yes. Swear my dog wakes me up at the oddest times of day to go outside. Right? They kind of do what they feel like. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to live like a dog? Or cat. My cats are spoiled little shits. I love them dearly, but there are times. Oh, this is way easier to do in the snow. Oh, we should have done this in the... Well, no, because we're going to get that extra field worth of rye. I need to make sure that they don't have any sharp, pointy implements, too, before the season changes again, so that we can make sure that we get our double harvest off of the rye. This will get everything set up for us. Well, I did not take the first 2 rows as far as I should have. This is probably my least favorite part of this game, to be completely honest. It is very slow and tedious and boring. And you know what I just realized? It'll take them forever to get over here, but we probably could have had them do it because they don't have anything to do during winter. We'll set up the 3rd field and not do this. And see if they actually... what we need to do towards the end of the last day of winter. But I'm wondering if we can't leverage them, since they're not doing anything this season anyway, to save us quite a bit of effort. So I believe our farming skill's already capped. They can't create the field, but once it's placed, once you have the pegs up, they can. They can do that. They can do the initial grubbing and the fertilizing of it. Farming, right. Yes, our farming skill is capped, so there's really no reason for us to do this ourselves. We discovered that in Season 1. I had a small field that we put behind the first row of houses, and they had actually prepped it for me because I didn't think that they would, so when I went to do it, it was already done, and it was super nice. Nope. They completely prepped the one Season 1 for me. Because, yeah, I was all ready to do it, grabbed the hoe, got the fertilizer and everything ready to go, and went over there to grub it up, and it was already completely done and fertilized. It was a very happy surprise. It's usually villager surprises go the other direction. I think I'm going to wait on putting the orchard up, though. I don't think we're going to do that right away. I do still intend to have a second orchard, but we are still quite a ways away from the tavern, so we're already wasting one orchard. I don't want to have another one. I'm not that good at this game. That's alright. You know what? It doesn't matter how good you are at a game. It doesn't matter your skill level or your intelligence level. The only thing that matters is that you're having a good time. It's a game and it's supposed to be fun. So as long as you're having fun, that's all that matters. As I see a lot of people say, I'm not smart enough for this or I'm not smart enough for that. It doesn't matter. It's a video game. It's not a big deal. Just have a good time. That's all. That's the only part that actually matters. And if you're not having a good time, play a different game. So that's one of the things that I will definitely say about this game is I have quite a few complaints about quite a few different aspects of it, but if I wasn't having fun, I wouldn't still be playing it. So, obviously, complaints aside, it's not that bad. And they can never make a game that'll make everybody happy. That's just not possible. And gamers are the worst assholes when it comes to things like that. And I say that being one of them. We are never happy. There's always something that should have been done differently. And if you ask 10 different gamers what they should have done differently, you'll get 10 different answers. Well, did you play before the game was released in 1.0? Because back in the day, you did have to do the first harvesting or the first hoeing yourself. But since I've come back to the game, since it's released fully, that's not a thing anymore. So that might be where you got it, just a holdover from back then. Yeah, that's probably exactly where you got it. So we've got 3 of them without jobs. They should be able to completely do one field, and this one all they have to do is hoe. So we should be good. And we did find out at the very beginning of this season that you cannot change fields early if there's already something growing in it, or they will tear it up. So we lost half a field of rye to that our very first winter. As I tried to get it prepped to where when the season changed I didn't have to worry about it. And that, yeah. She was just destroying the field, bits at a time. But these other 2 will be able to set up for flax just fine and have them handle it. Because there's not going to be anything for them to destroy, so it won't be a problem. We are going to have to actually sow them ourselves in spring. Because they're not going to be able to handle their own field and these fields. There's no way. But I think with it being winter, and I know it's a bit of a hike for them, but they should be able to get some of this done for us. 2 rows left. Oh. Oops. Wasn't paying attention. Wait, no. We missed a spot somewhere. Oh no, we had an extra one. That's right. I don't know how we got an extra one, but we did. Somehow my camera got slightly tilted. So if you point yourself directly north or south when you're doing this, you don't have to really see all that well to make sure that you get the field, or that you get your lines straight. Yeah, there we go. Oh! Lower efficiency because the farm shed is far away. Yep. And the same. Alright, so this one we're going to change to flax. So that's the field we just did. Can we name fields? Custom name. We can. Alright, so we are going to name this V2F2. Ah! And we're going to name this one V2F... Why does it on... F3? That was weird. It like dropped out of it even though I wasn't ready. Okay, so that one's there, that one's there. Okay, so this can be 1 and 2. So H... V2... Nope. Yeah, it's... As soon as I hit F, it closes. Oh! That's a bad oversight on their part. For the love of all that's holy. V1F, and then it's going to close. And then we're going to come to the end here and make it 1. So F is your key where you accept things. So when you're typing the name, if you hit F, it automatically hits accept, even though you're in the name box. Like, that's an oopsie on their part. That's why it keeps closing as soon as I hit F. Okay. Now this we're going to have to actually do some work for. Oh, no, only 2, Psych, only 2. This game is such a great concept, but if you try to describe it to somebody who isn't familiar with it, it doesn't make much sense. That's true. This game is extraordinarily difficult to describe to somebody who's never even heard of it. I like to say that it's a mix between a survival game, a village simulator, and a building simulator. But even that doesn't really cover the sheer depth of this game. For some reason, there's always one corner where it's slightly off-center, and if you go to the other corner, it's fine. And which corner is off-center seems to move, and I'm not entirely sure what's up with that. Because of course. Okay, so that tree's got to go, and that tree's got to go. This game has a surprising amount of depth for what it is, in all honesty. Medieval RPG management simulator. Yeah, it's really hard to explain. It's very unique, that is for certain. It doesn't solidly fit in any one specific genre. I think that's part of its attraction for me, is it's the only game that I've seen that is like this. And I mean, sure, they've got other games in the series now, but still, this one's got a special place in my heart, that's for sure. Alright, we'll leave that one and see if they do it for us. So this one here we are going to name V2F, and I believe this is going to be 1. Yes. There we go. So this will be field 1, field 2, field 3, and then the orchard will be here. But we're not going to build the orchard right now because that is much less important. But we are going to go ahead and tell them to flax this one as well. And it's going to give us the same alert that the other one has. Yep, where it's too far from a farming shed. That's perfectly fine. We could build some farming sheds out here, I suppose. That is an option. I do want to get our resource storage up, though. That's definitely something. Or not our barn first. But I would like a resource storage out here, like you had said, Alex. Even if we tear it down and move it, it's still having access to those materials is going to make it worthwhile. It must be hard to market this thing, because anything you say about it sounds like you're just throwing words together, right? Or sounds too good to be true. So we've had a lot of that lately in games. You know, this will be the last game you ever play. I have any game that claims it'll be the last game I ever play, I have to call bullshit on. Because inevitably, usually within a couple of months, I lose interest. That doesn't mean I won't come back, and it doesn't mean it's not a great game. It's just, I have yet to find a game that can keep my attention for more than a few months. And I've been gaming for a very long time. Since the late 80s. I don't know if this is big enough. We might have to lose a couple more of those trees. But we're going to try. Let's see here. We want farming, and we want the barn 1. We're just going to start with the barn 1. We're not going to fool too much with this. We want this more or less up the middle. For a decade now, I almost exclusively played Dark Souls games. I never could really get into Dark Souls. I played the first one, but I have a hard time with games that are difficult for the sake of being difficult. If your game is difficult, that's one thing, that's fine. But when your whole claim to fame is our game is the hardest, I have zero interest in that. And at that point, it's more frustrating than fun for me. Not saying it's a terrible game, I'm just saying that it's not for me. 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. We might actually have enough to finish the entire barn in one go. But it would be nice to be able to deal with these resources here without having to run all the way home for them. Ah, the straw, right. I don't know. When I played it, it was more frustrating than fun for me. It just... I'm not saying it's a terrible game, like I said, it's just not for me. Okay, we have 6 logs remaining. I'm really getting tired of this guy wandering around near us making noise. So now we don't have to worry about it anymore. Alright, now we... Oh, what? Where did this snowman come from? It's built out here in the middle of freaking nowhere. Like, there's nothing nearby. Except for our stuff. And yet there's a snowman out here. Oh good, there are reeds right here. I hate to gather straw when we have so much in storage, but this is like right here. Village kids. Do they wander this far from the village? I don't know that I've ever seen them out here. I mean, realistically, if they were leaning for realism, that would be the kids, because their parents probably told them not to come out here, so of course the first thing they did when their parents weren't looking was come out here. I think we all had a phase like that as children. Oh, that was cool, watching the green shimmer into being. Wait, what? Is it done? Oh. I thought there was still one more tile. Okay, that works. Okay, so we'll line it to the south. Line to the south. Okay, so we need 16 more rocks. Would you guys stop it? I don't want to kill your whole family, but I need y'all to stop making noise over here. Well, I think that's kind of human nature to some extent in general. We are very destructive creatures. Very territorial. If it's not something that we did, we don't want to see it. And obviously, generalization, but... Those people grow up and go into politics. Yeah, I don't really have much nice to say about politics. That's a subject I try to avoid. Alright, we know we're going to be coming up through here. This is going to be an awkward direction to build in because this slope just keeps going on and on. We'll make it work, though. Whoa, that one's gonna fall on us. No, not the... Oh, good, it was too short to hit the barn. So we found out earlier in this season that if falling trees hit your buildings, that does actually cause durability damage to the sections it lands on. God, the iron tools make this so much easier. They really are a very, very big improvement. Okay, so here we're going to put our logs back on him. We are going to have to go grab a little bit more straw. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to put down the initial 2 house footprints. We might actually build the houses, to be completely honest, because I would like to get people living out here so that they can get that field a little bit easier. I need to see if we are good enough to recruit any more people or not. I know that we have some farmers that are out for maternity leave. And hopefully they will come back soon enough that we can actually put them to use. But we shall see. Come on, 60. Nope. There we go. We can go take a dunk. There's our bath. Alright. Back to the building. But yeah, I'm hoping that we can scam some returning mothers into coming out here for us. But the initial 2 houses, we can actually do what I tried to do with the first village that we weren't able to get to work out the way that I wanted, because that's why we have the smaller houses instead of the larger houses next to the fields. These guys won't respawn because there's too much housing around here now. Or player buildings anyway. Yeah, we had built the storages too close because of the houses, because I didn't realize how big the tier 3 houses really were. What I thought was enough space was actually about a square shy. But this time we can make it work. So even if we don't build these right away, even if we leave them as they are here... Oh shit, this one's gonna have a walkway to it. I was hoping to avoid that. Alright, well, that is what it is. I really don't like the raised houses like that, but there's nothing we can do about it, so... Oh man, the resource storage is going to have one too? Yep. Well, we're not going to be spending too much time out here. That's for sure. Okay, maybe let's do the end of the ramp instead. Is that really food storage? Yeah. Okay. So point east again. And this time we're going to line up like we did with the other one, where the end of the ramp would be, instead of the edge of the wall. That way we have a little bit bigger of a walkway. That's better. I really don't like that the resource storage is the one that we have to walk up into, though. There's not a terrible lot we can do about it, based on our location here. Well, maybe if we switched them sides... If we put the food storage on the other side, we could probably get away with it. But it's going to start to become a problem with the buildings up here anyway. Let's do that. Let's switch these sides. Nope. Psych. We just went over this. Alright. Alright, that's about as close as it's gonna get. That is a whole lot harder to line up now, that's for sure. Well... realistically, no. No, it really doesn't. But, game mechanic-wise, since they don't allow us any kind of terraforming, it does kind of make sense in a perverse way. You had to put it on stilts to make it even, because you can't have a foundation that is not even. You want that dispersal of weight that way. So I kind of see where they're coming from, but no, realistically, no. You would just have to use a few extra rocks to make the platform a little thicker, but you could totally do it. Alright, we're going to build the resource storage first. That way we don't have to keep running all over God's green earth trying to get materials. And the resource storage is still on stilts, and the food storage is still not. So that's a thing. I'm just hoping that we can actually get the craft buildings in here like I want. At least we have some spruce to play with this time. It's going to make this a little bit quicker at least. You know what I just realized? We don't actually have to start the food storage at Tier 1. We could go straight to Tier 3. Because once the resource storage is up, we can get all the stuff that we need for it. The only reason that I didn't start the resource storage out at a higher tier is because we would have to go all the way back home to get planks. And this way we don't have to. Maybe. Thank you. So yeah, we will replace the food storage with the Tier 3 version and just go straight into that to help us offload some rocks and conserve on some logs. Because we don't have to actually work them all the way up through the stages. It's just easier to get this guy going this way. They built fortified monasteries and into mountainsides in the Middle Ages, and they had to build up the foundation 20 meters. They did. Yeah. Yeah, that exactly that. Whoa! Easy there, killer. Tree chopping really is the most dangerous job in this game. Hands down. Although realistically, being a lumberjack is a dangerous job even in modern era. So, I mean, that's fair, I suppose. Widowmaker, yep. Although mining's not exactly safe even today. So, I mean, there's that too. Oh yeah, look, there he is. Good man, good man. Wow, we actually ran out of sticks. I didn't see that one coming. Mining safety standards are evolving backwards, right? It's all about getting that money. We were 6 straw off. That's it. Yeah, see here, he's actually doing the first once over on the field right now. Getting it all grubbed up for us. Yeah, and I know where that came from, Alex. That you're right, that you used to have to do that yourself. But I don't know when they changed it, but they did change it. Alright, we'll get the last of this material storage up, and then we can easily throw up the other buildings that we need. Ta-da! Alright, so let's... Uh-oh. Why do we have so many buckets? Did we lose our well worker? Yes, we did. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. And then those three. The storage that isn't complete. The well needs people. Everything else looks okay. Okay, so we're actually going to replace this one last time with the tier 3 version of itself. So we're gonna point east. I think that'll do. $14 stone. We're gonna need quite a bit of stone, actually. Nope. Because the walls are gonna be mostly stone as well. Logs, psych. Logs. You know what? Come on, Winnie. We need the horsepower, buddy. Nobody else in chat today. I know, it's awful quiet. I don't know where Stesso is. Or Venomous. Venomous is probably at work. Yeah, it's super quiet today. That's odd. It seems like there's a fair few people watching. I think just most of them are regular lurkers that don't really say much. And that's fine. They don't need to. There's no pressure there at all. Although I know sometimes Stesso watches and doesn't talk just because he's doing something else, playing a different game or Lord knows what, doing Stesso stuff. So I mean, he might be around too. He might be one of the lurkers today. I don't know. Hey! You're one of the lurkers. No worries, man. No pressure. As long as you're having a good time, that's all that matters. I'll take like 20, I guess. Just kind of winging this here. That was way too much. Alright, so I think all that we need now are the 24 planks, and we should be good to go on the food storage. And we should have 24 planks. That shouldn't be an issue. Yeah. So there we go. Now we can dump our meat in here. And actually, I need to snag some food out of here because we already ate ours. Normally we don't eat the villager pottage, but we don't really have a choice right now because our scrambled eggs, we don't have any extras made up, so... It's alright. They can share or they can build their own house. That's their options. We're securing a place for their children to live. They should just be grateful. Alright, so this is a good start. So we'll do a kitchen here. Nope, kitchen is production, isn't it? Yes. The nice part is we can jump straight to the higher tier buildings. We don't have to do the middle stuff. Alright, so let's get you lined up wall-wise. I'm usually a lurker too, but with so few people in here, you don't feel intimidated or ignored. That's fair. I try not to ignore anyone. I mean, sometimes I don't notice, but I try very hard to not ignore anyone. And I actually like when you guys interact. It's fun for me as well. I don't know why I'm grabbing rocks. We have plenty of rocks right across the way. In fact, rocks were one of the things that we needed to make it a point to offload, so... Alright, so let's take like 100 rocks... and maybe 40 logs? 48 logs, apparently. Because that's where it stopped. And... like 100 rocks. Can we move? We can move. Not well, but we can move. Not really. I mean, we've still got a little bit of time in here. I'm really hoping that Oxbow comes out soon enough that we can transition into that. But, I haven't really made up my mind as to what we want to do next. It's never too early to start giving recommendations, though, for sure. I should probably make a channel in the Discord specifically for that, for recommendations for games to play. That would not be a terrible idea. Oh, it's all logs. How boring. Thought we were going to get to offload some of our planks, but apparently not. Or not planks, rocks. Did you have any suggestions there, Fizz? Alright, we are going to run out of planks, so we're going to go ahead and get started on our, oh, that's not a good spot to leave, Winnie. On our logging building, a little bit ahead of schedule here. I was going to do it after the kitchen, but, it's going to save us some heartache here, I think. So let's line up our west. Buildings, extraction... Woodshed 2. Nope, you know what? Let's start with the Woodshed 1. because we can use the woodshed 1, which doesn't require any planks, to make the planks to upgrade the rest of these buildings. So that'll save us a little bit of heartache here if we just start with the tier 1 version. Trial starts with S, psych. There we go. Alright, so to finish this guy off, we're going to need 12, 24, 36, 48. I think 60? 60 planks? Could be wrong though. The kitchen is super oddly shaped. It's very difficult to figure out what you actually need for it. So there's 28, so we would need 40, 32 more. And half of 32 is 16. So it'll take 16 logs to turn into planks, and we can barely move. I don't know what we're carrying so much of, but this is frustrating. I should have grabbed a weight potion. Or the horse. Either one would have worked. The diagonal, yeah. Oh, we had more than we actually needed anyway. And I am stuck in the oven. Fantastic. At least there's an unstuck. Okay, so at the very least now we can feed ourselves off of our eggs. And we can put their pottage back. Alright, looks like we made a few too many planks, but not super, super bad. So let's go ahead and grab a crap ton of logs. Let's see, like 70 kilograms worth of them. And again. Those coins just keep coming in. I am okay with that. Alright, and this time we'll only grab about 50 worth because we're going to have to be able to move. Wow, that time it was a bunch of coins. this time we only need 9. So we should have 8,000 now? Yep, we have 8,000 storage now, so we are using less than half of our storage again, which is fantastic. Alright, now we can upgrade this guy. Is this just going to be 12 planks or 6 planks? It might only be 6 planks. Which we know that we have because we just accidentally made 6 too many. So maybe we made the exact amount. Yep, ta-da! Alright, then we can build a smithy next to this. Which we may as well jump to the 3rd tier of. I was not intending to build all of this crap, but it'll be nice while we're over here dealing with the fields and whatnot to be able to access everything that we need. I guess we're just going to go with it. But I honestly did not intend to do quite so much of this building today. It's necessary. It would have had to be done at some point anyway, but... I grabbed way more crap than we really needed for this. I know you're all surprised by that. Yeah, so 12, 24, 36, 48. 48 planks. Well, that's easy. We just put 2 of those back and we're good. We're gonna have to get a well up over here too. It'll be nice though to be able to handle the requirements of our villagers no matter where we are. Oh, come on now. Like being able to fill those buckets since our current water carrier's out. We can do that from either location now. Kind of like how having the smithies at the mine were actually beneficial and made our lives a little bit easier. I think this will give us an entirely new staging location. Perfect. Now, I believe that we had next to this the... Oh, no, it's sewing and then herbalism, but we're not going to do herbalism on this one. So we're just going to put a sewing hut up over here. You built your smithy right next to the entrance to your house, so when you teleport with the ores, you're right there. That's not a bad idea. I wanted it as close to storage as I could get it, though. That was my main goal there. And realistically, I would have put this on the side that is production, i.e. the item storage. But since we have more production buildings than we have food buildings, it made more sense to do it this way. Because we're also not really going to worry about the extraction buildings or the hunting buildings, because we really don't need the excess stuff from those to keep doing what we're doing. So we're just not going to worry about them. I do want a workshop, though, and we will probably put that on the other side, where we have the, who's it in our starter area? I don't think any of this is stone, so I'm just going to take 16. I think it's just the base. Yeah, it was only 8 anyway. Yeah, it's all wood. Wait a minute. Shit. I forgot that the sewing hut's sideways. Well, that was a waste. Yeah, I completely forgot that the sewing hut is actually sideways. For some reason, it's the only building that's set up that way, but for some reason they set it up to where it is actually... You're not facing the stairs when you go to place it. Nope. That'll do. That's close enough. It's got a bit of a gap. I would have liked to pull it just a hair back further, but it is what it is. At least we already have the stones on us. So we have 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Well, that really chunked our logs down, so that helped quite a bit. And we need 24. So 12 more logs for the roof. I always forget about that. Those little side wings get me every time. Okay, so yeah, because this sticks out so much further, I think we're going to put the workshop right here. Well, that more or less lines it up. Alright. That's going to be in the way. I don't like that. Well, there we go. That works. And then we can put our wash tub over here. Strange that we don't have tiles for roofs in the game. Yeah. I do wish there was a little bit more freedom with the building. But I don't know, for what it is, it's still pretty fantastic. Is there room for this over here, maybe? No? Oh, there we go. We can hide it back here. Yeah. Alright, so what's this? 4 logs? Because we need water desperately. So I figured getting that up sooner rather than later is probably for the best. And then 16 straw. That'll give us a solid straw cyc. Starts with an S. Just in time. Alright, now before they start complaining, because I see how many empty buckets are in here, let's fill these since she's out on maternity leave at the moment. But thankfully we can because of the way that we set all this up. Boop. Okay, right, back to that. Oh, never took our bath either. Oh, never filled our bath. This might well be the last use on this bucket. I don't remember how bad this one was. Oh no, that one's still in great shape. If we'd have grabbed one of the 10%ers, I don't know that we'd have been able to fill that all the way with it. Okay, so once that's up, all we have to worry about are the houses. How are they doing on the fields, though? Okay, so this is completely grubbed. No, it's not. Why did he start fertilizing when it's not done being grubbed? I don't understand why they do what they do sometimes. Sometimes they make my head hurt. I'm worried that they might not be able to finish it without a little bit of help. We'll leave it at that and see how they do. We might not be able to fit... Oh yeah, with the road curving that way, we will. We'll be able to fit the orchard here just fine. Although that little dip right there might make it not flat enough. We'll worry about that when the time comes. I'm not going to do the orchard until we actually have the Who's It unlocked. I still never took the bath. Alright, now the Tier 3 workshop we should probably need quite a bit of stone for. I don't know if it's going to be as much as a house, because I don't have these ones memorized. We don't build nearly as many. But we're going to grab like 100. Well, we'll grab 80 to start and see how that works. And we'll grab a chunk of logs, like 38. Just grab what we normally do for a house and see if that works. Although it is quite a bit smaller than a house. Yeah, it's a little tight in here. Alright, so it looks like 24, 36, 48. 48 planks, and we should be good. Okay, so how many logs do we have left? Not nearly enough. Oh, wait, we were just about right on the stones, though. Looks like it was 76? No, 66. I don't know. That's too many, isn't it? No, that's right. 48. I'm second-guessing myself all over the place now. Oh, I'm sorry, Fizz. I didn't even see that up there, bud. Generally speaking, I prefer survival games like this. That's generally my go-to. I do enjoy some RPG-style stuff, but it's hard to keep you guys entertained with RPG stuff because it's pretty much just story at that point. Maybe some builds, but that's about it. Generally speaking, I'm down for pretty much anything except for competitive first-person shooters. I don't mind first-person shooters, but they've got to be co-op. It's got to be PvE. Otherwise, I'll just make an ass of myself. Okay, so we've got our main buildings up. Everything that we need to actually craft what we need over here. So the only thing left is to get some housing for some farmers out here. And I don't know... Well... Let's go talk to Nicola. Let's progress that quest. And then we'll see what we have to do to jigger housing to make it convenient. I have not played Green Hell. I really wanted to, but apparently it's extraordinarily difficult. So I was hoping to play that with some friends, or at least some other people, so that we can rely on each other a little bit more and maybe ease the difficulty range. But everybody I know that would play something like that with me is not interested in that game in particular. So I haven't actually had an opportunity to play it. I could try it solo, but I between all the poison and all the other shenanigans that I've seen and heard about. You gave up on that game for a bit, yeah. That's one that I definitely want to do with somebody else. So there was no winner for Nicola. Excuse me? After dozens of experiments, it seems that good old Goosefeather is clearly the best choice. Doesn't this mean that all of our work was for nothing? Not at all. We found the answer we were looking for. It calls for a celebration. My wife was correct. Your passion truly has no match. I would love to have someone with your energy around. Will you consider joining my settlement? Considered and accepted. I'm so excited. I wish I had something to offer you in return. Oh, here, take my old arrow prototypes. They're a bit, unpredictable, but it's the only way I could thank you. That's wonderful. Welcome to the family. Alright, so we're going to put her in the overflow house, because that's pretty much the only place that we can stick her right now. I don't know what we're going to do about a job for her, though. Well, let's see what we're looking at for people. Did anybody come back from maternity leave? Yes, we had 3 come back from maternity leave. Ooh, and 2 of them are extractors. Oh, no, she's a huntress. Okay, so let's put you in the hunting shack. So who has hunting less than 4? Nobody. And nobody's pregnant. Well, poop. Congratulations, lady. You have just been promoted to an extractor instead. So we need 1 in an excavation shed. We need 1 on the well, for sure. And we do have a new woodshed. So let's put her in the well for now. Oop. Wait, let's see if there's anybody here that's less than a 4. There is. He's less than a 4. Kazimira, but that's our wife. We're just going to deal with that one. Anybody here less than a 4? No. Well, 3s. Let's replace Erica with her in the second mine. I'm such a casual gamer that if a game stresses me too much, I'll leave it alone. But I have intentions on trying again. That and Ancestors. I've never heard of Ancestors. But no, I totally feel you, dude. If a game is causing you stress and it's not fun, don't play it, man. And maybe don't give up on it. Maybe just give it a little while and come back to it later. But yeah, don't try to force it. That's not fun. That's the quickest way to get tired of gaming. Oh, and of course Erica's pregnant. Because why wouldn't she be? Alright, so let's go to the well. And we're going to assign Erica to the well. So that'll at least take care of some of that problem. And then we can put this gal into the mine where Erica was. Excellent. So who else do we have here? So we've got a farmer. Excellent. Who is her husband? Harold. Who is a cook. Oh, she's a producer, that's why. Okay. Hey, James. No, too awful bad. How are you doing, man? Alright, let's see what our production looks like. So we've got one kitchen that we can move them into. We can move them into the extra sewing hut. That wouldn't suck. One of the extra smithies would probably help as well. Check out the trailer for Ancestors. I feel a little bit right up your alley. Okay. You guys play games to have fun. I play games to get mad. We're not the same. Fair enough. It's a survival and you start as an ape? That sounds kind of fun. Taking a break from the game? Fair enough. We were just talking about that a little bit earlier, James, where I can't really find games that'll keep my attention for more than a few months. Like, I've heard all these things about the last game you'll ever play. It seems to be their trigger word for hyping up new games, and every time I hear it I laugh because there's no such thing as the last game I'll ever play. Once I've figured out how all the systems work inside and out and how to optimize everything, I lose interest. And I may come back to it, especially if it's a good game, but I lose interest. So do we send her to a smithy or a workshop, or I don't know what to do with her. It might actually be wise to just use her as a farmer right now. Her husband doesn't matter where he lives. Oh, you just took a break to watch me? Well, I appreciate that, man. We're trucking quite a ways on the second village here. We've got the other two fields set up like I wanted to, and then basically made a small outpost where we can do everything that we do at our main village. I'm just trying to get it organized now to where we can get as much of it automated as possible. So it's basically going to double our farming production. And I'm hoping that we can get enough people to maybe start another mine. I think we're going to have to wait for the kids to grow up for some of this stuff. I think I got a little over-ambitious, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll play it by ear and see how it works. But yeah, we've got quite a little outpost going over here now. Here's our 3 fields. And our barn, our farming sheds. We've got our storages and our crafting buildings. A well and a bath. Okay, so let's build up one of these houses. Let's take you, I guess. I think we still have enough resources left. We started making your retirement village by the lake. Awesome. By the one that we did in Season 1, or by a different lake? I'll take 108. No. Oh, yeah, I love that area. That area is a gorgeous place to build and super easy. A lot of flat area. Most everything that you could need nearby. Like, it's one of my favorite areas to build. It really is. I'm not too terribly upset with where we built this season, but the Season 1 place I really feel was superior. Oh, it's blocked by Winnie over here. Nope. That was not what I meant to do. Yeah, I really love the view out of that lake. It's really nice. honestly think that winning feels better after you've tried hard and got frustrated trying. I don't know, man. If that is how you have fun, then I absolutely applaud you and keep doing it. But that's not fun to me. But it takes all sorts. Let's see here. Fizz, no worries. Alright, yeah, we're not slow walking over there. It's not gonna be a thing. Depends on your mood for the day. I've noticed as I got older, I'm more chillaxed game-wise. Every now and then I'll hop on Apex, but yeah. Yeah, that's kind of the way of it, too. I like things that pose more mental puzzles than actual reflex or timing or anything like that anymore. I used to love stuff like that. I don't know. I got old. That's what I like to say anyway. And it's crazy that, you know, some of the games that we think are difficult now, if you go back and try to play some of the games that we played back in the day, like trying to run through the original Mega Man, that game's hard as shit. And it didn't feel that way as a kid, but it is. Of course, you know, back then we played it so much because we only had like 3 games, or at least I did because I was poor. But yeah, we only had like 3 games, so we had all the patterns memorized and stuff, so you could get around a lot of the stuff that now you got to relearn all the patterns, and it's just a whole big thing. But yeah, the timing, the speed, it's surprising. And Mario simultaneously feels, the original Mario, simultaneously feels much slower and much faster at the same time. Because, like, I remember him just blitzing across the screen, and getting used to games like this now, Mario actually moves pretty slow across the screen. But it still feels like it gets to be too fast because you got so much that you're trying to track, and you mistime your jumps because you don't expect it to move the way that it is. You were obsessed with Donkey Kong? My favorite... wait, which Donkey Kong? Oh, the Donkey Kongs. Okay. I was going to say, are you talking the original Donkey Kong, or like the ones that had Diddy Kong and Dixie Kong and all that? But yeah, the Donkey Kongs, that makes sense. I enjoyed those as well. Farming Simulator 22. You really want a gaming PC? Walmart has one for like $700. Hopefully you can get it before Christmas. So, something to pay attention to, James, because my laptop that I got is actually a pretty solid laptop. It can handle most of the games that I play. But it was super cheap. I got it on sale at Best Buy for $500. And the only thing that it really needed was a RAM upgrade because it only came with 8 gigs of RAM. So I bought some RAM off of Amazon and slotted that, and it's fantastic. It does well, but so basically I got the same specs as the computer that they were trying to sell for $900 for $500 plus $100 for RAM. So I mean, watch your specs. You might be able to snag a screaming deal if you play your cards right. Also, provided you're comfortable digging in the innards of a computer. I know not everybody is. Apparently I left the horse in the house. Alright, so what I would like to do is move that gal and her family out here. You're not really into multiplayer games, so you can be sure that every time I fail it's my fault and I don't take it out on other people. Fair enough. Okay, thanks for letting me know. I don't know much about PC stuff. Okay. Well, it's a lot easier than it used to be back in the day. Most of it's plug and play now. If it fits in the slot, that's probably where it goes. But yeah, just watch the stats and make sure that they're not trying to scam you or that you can't swing a better deal. But yeah, if you're not comfortable replacing RAM, maybe just go with a pre-built. Sometimes I forget that not everybody knows everything that I know. I've had that problem since I was a kid. I assume that everybody knows everything that I know. Got your first laptop a few weeks ago. Haven't turned on your Xbox once since. Fair enough. Yeah, I enjoyed consoles for a very long time, but I prefer the PC scene now. I'm not necessarily PC master race or anything. Consoles still have a lot of good to them. RAM literally clicks into place. It does, but if you don't know where to slot it on the motherboard, that can be a problem. And not everybody's super comfortable with digging through stuff that they're not familiar with. Wow, that's a lot of feathers. I think we need to have them start selling feathers again. I didn't realize we had over 1,000 now. Alright, right. I keep trying to move that family and getting sidetracked by other things. Okay, so we're going to have her farming, and her husband is a crafter, so that's not really a problem. You can tell I'm still in transition. I have a couple of games I got that are strictly M and K. When I know it would be much easier with my controller. Fair enough. And there are some... It's weird, because, like, Warframe, I can play either or. I can play with the controller or with the mouse and keyboard, but I prefer mouse and keyboard. But I have... I'm using one of my controllers from my PS4 on my computer, so I can use whatever's most convenient on the PC. With the help of YouTube, you can learn how to do quite a bit more on a PC. Occasionally you'll find somebody that's full of crap, but for the most part, they're pretty solid on the tutorials. I think I've only seen one or two people where I was like, what the hell is he even talking about? Most of the time, they're pretty accurate. Been a PC guy your whole life. Not gonna lie, consoles make more sense now. You can buy a console for $500, so you can spend that just on the graphics card. That's fair, since the graphics card spike. That's kind of hurt. Alright, let's move Gerarda and friends into this house, and then we will have her work right here. Gerarda. Yep. Okay. So they live here now. And then we can have Gerarda work out of this field. Perfect. And then we can take the new gal, who's in our overflow house. I have already forgotten her name because I'm terrible like that. Nicola. I should have remembered that one. And we will move Nicola into the other empty house now. And there we go. That gets her out of overflow, so we don't have to worry about that. Alright, now we need to find a job for her, and she is an extractor. I think we only have one extracting open right now. And I believe that's the excavation shed. So that's where we're going to put her for now. With Kazimira. Alright. So now it's all about them getting the 2 fields finished. And we did help them grub up the rest of this, so they should be able to get it done. You know what? I'm going to finish off this one too while we're here. That way they're only working on the other one. So all 3 of them can get their lazy butts over here and work. Although Gerarda can, since they live out here now, she'll probably help too. And quite a bit faster. Let's help them out a little bit with this one too. Would be nice to have mods for the game like better outfits and armor and better deco. Yeah. I don't actually have any mods on mine, but yeah, that's definitely a nice thing about PC is the mods. And they actually recently made the game easier to mod, if I recall correctly. There we go. Now they should be able to get that finished just fine. Alright, we've got a pretty solid start here on village number 2. All we need to do is build up this other house and get another farming couple. So we can put him in the field here and then put her in the barn. And then I want to build out this side. Animals. So we can have a pigsty, a fold, and a goose house out this side, even with the fields, for putting babies in, and eventually for actual use. But for now, just for putting the babies in. Maybe we won't do the goose house because the only reason that we have the goose house is to supply the main character with eggs, because we're the only ones that eat the eggs. So we'll skip the goose house. We'll just do pigs and and actually, can we fit 6 pigs in a single pig building? One, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can fit 5. So yeah, we will probably build a pigsty as well. So we'll do a pigsty and a fold out here and then leave the rest of it off. But I think that will help. The fold will definitely help with income. But since we won't have anybody out here to work them right away, because we're planning on moving children out here, or at least returning mothers for now, what we'll do is we will have the babies come out here. That way they're not consuming food. And we just won't have a worker out here. So that the others can continue to mate and the babies can grow up without eating our resources. But on that note, it is about that time of the night, guys. So we got a very, very strong established beginning here. It's doing nice. Not nearly as big as it is over here, but it's getting there. And we've even got a spot where we can still put our put traders here too to increase our trade outgo. So we're starting out in great shape. I'm very happy with how this went. But and we finished our wife's quest, which makes happy wife, happy life. So all of the quests are down there as far as the rest. But tomorrow we will finish up with this. We'll get the animal buildings up and see what we can do about possibly finding some farmers. I'm hoping that we have enough reputation now that we can actually get some more people. At least one more, probably. But we'll see how that shakes out and see who else we can move over here as people come off of maternity leave. But yeah, if you guys learned anything useful tonight, or if you had a good time, please don't be afraid to drop a like. If you're feeling friendly, maybe go ahead and subscribe. But either way, have a fantastic rest of your night, guys, and thanks for watching and hanging out. I really appreciate it. And we will catch you next time.